translate the promise of his inaugural address into policy? What does he mean by vowing to end tyranny around the world? In Iraq today, killing Shiites after Friday prayers. That is one huge storm system moving across the country, and in some places the flood waters are turning to ice. The two conservative Christian groups which think that SpongeBob SquarePants is being used to promote homosexuality. Other conservatives say this sort of thing makes us look silly. And our person of the week. He loves inaugurations. He's been making them fun for more than 50 years.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. We begin tonight with President Bush's second term. And after taking the oath of office yesterday and making that stirring inaugural address about freedom and liberty, today it's all about the implications of what the president said. Mr. Bush was very clear in his intention to spread freedom and take on tyranny wherever. The president's words were heard and analyzed all over the world, and today the president's staff was explaining how he was going to wage this dramatic campaign. Here's ABC's John Cochran.
The next 4 years.
Today, the president was listening, not talking, as he attended a national prayer service.
So it is the policy of the United States.
But Bush aides were trying to explain just what he meant yesterday when he pledged to spread freedom across the globe.
With the ultimate goal of ending tyranny in our world.
Some historians and pundits call that the most ambitious foreign agenda since Woodrow Wilson, even more ambitious than Ronald Reagan. Too ambitious, said a former Reagan speechwriter, Peggy Noonan, who called the speech over the top and urged the White House to ease up, calm down. Today, some Republicans said it is the president's critics who should calm down.
He does not intend to go to war at every country that does not agree with us.
A senior White House official told ABC News the president is not urging oppressed people everywhere to revolt, nor is he promising American military help to end tyranny. Condoleezza Rice foreshadowed the president's speech earlier this week when she spoke of what she called outposts of tyranny.
America stands with oppressed people on every continent, in Cuba and Burma and North Korea and Iran and Belarus and Zimbabwe.
The difficulty for the White House is that ending tyranny would put the president at odds with authoritarian leaders he has cozied up to. General Musharraf in Pakistan, Egypt's Mubarak, and the Saudi royal family.
Millions of people were watching this message yesterday all over the world. And so the likelihood that this will stir real hopes that the United States is coming to the assistance of people who are suffering under tyranny right now, those hopes will be lifted. And ultimately, I'm afraid, those hopes cannot be fulfilled.
Mr. Bush's aides say he will do what he can through diplomacy, but that he never meant to suggest he could eliminate tyranny everywhere in the world. John Cochran, ABC News, the White House.
In Iraq today, a suicide bomber blew himself and his car up outside a mosque in Baghdad. 14 Iraqis were killed and 40 others were wounded. It was after morning prayers on the second day of the Feast of Sacrifice. It is one of the most important holidays for Muslims. ABC's David Wright is in Baghdad.
Friday prayers had just ended, so the street was full of worshipers when the suicide bomber drove up.
You can see there's a spot in the ground here where it stopped and exploded.
The second attack this week on a Shiite mosque in Baghdad. Sunni Muslim insurgents have been trying to intimidate Shiites to keep them from voting. Many Sunnis say this is not the time for an election. The imam of this Sunni mosque condemned today's bombing and the decision to hold the vote now. This is a nation that cannot protect places of worship, he preached. How can we expect voters to be safe? But Iraq's Shiite majority will vote. These are tribal sheikhs from Baghdad at a campaign event in a building the suicide bombers hit 3 weeks ago. The host, leading Shiite candidate Abdulaziz al-Hakim. One after another stood up to express devotion to Hakim and defiance. We will fight you, Zarqawi, and beat you, Alawi, they said. The whole event more like a tent revival than a campaign rally. Each of these men leads a tribe of thousands. With one small gathering, they've been able to reach out to hundreds of thousands of voters. The message that each of these men brings back to his tribe: Vote for 169. That's the ballot number assigned to the United Iraq Alliance, a coalition led by Hakim. The Shiites say voting is more than just a civic responsibility. They see it as a religious duty. David Wright, ABC News, Baghdad.
One other note from Iraq today, the man who was once an important U.S. ally, Ahmed Chalabi, is involved in a major feud with the Minister of Defense. Today, the minister said that Mr. Chalabi has allegedly tried to malign him, so he should be arrested. Mr. Chalabi apparently accused the minister of stealing $500 million from the government. Mr. Chalabi was arrested last year on charges of counterfeiting, but the charges were dropped. Other big news today, there's a major winter storm developing in the Midwest, and by all accounts and forecasts, it is going to whack the east. Winter storm warnings and watches stretch for 1,500 miles from North Dakota through Ohio and up to New Hampshire. Not much green out there. The suggestion is that snow will be measured in feet, not in inches. Here's ABC's Dean Reynolds.
These pictures are from North Dakota today, but if you're anywhere between Fargo and Philadelphia, this storm is coming to a neighborhood near you.
It just seems to keep snowing all the time and never wants to quit.
By early afternoon, it was coming down in Minneapolis and clouding up in Green Bay.
Sounds like we're going to notice this one.
It's a big one.
In Chicago, they got the hint. Hundreds of trucks were loaded with tons of salt and dispatched onto thousands of miles of roads, awaiting the first flake.
It's going to be a major storm, so we're expecting the worst, and we'll try to bring the best to the public.
Another Canadian cold front is to blame, and as it moves east, water from the ocean will be sucked into the mix, assuring accumulations of ½ a foot or more.
And as this storm system gets close to the coast, to the eastern seaboard, that's when the storm is really going to intensify.
The few sunny hours in New York today were eclipsed by the gloomy forecast.
This is going to be the biggest snowstorm of the year.
It all adds up to a good weekend to stay inside, because while the storm is expected to be over on Sunday, temperatures in the teens or lower will linger.
Great if you're racing ice boats in Madison, Wisconsin. But almost everywhere else, the weather is a worry. It was tough enough crossing the icebound Hudson today, but by tomorrow, that will look like a trip to the tropics. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Chicago.
This has been a particularly miserable winter for some of the people along the Grand River in Michigan, western Michigan to be specific. You can't see the river. They have been dealing with particularly unusual weather. First came the rains, and then last week the flooding. Then a surge of cold weather over the last week turned all of the flood water to ice. So it's a community frozen in place. Here's ABC's Barbara Pinto.
Along the banks of the Grand River, residents who tried to get home today were taking a big risk. The river has taken over. It flooded, spread out, then froze. That is ice surrounding those houses, 50 of them.
This is the worst that we've ever seen since we've been here.
Vance and Becky Cummins tried to get a look at their damaged home.
We'd like to go out there and see it, but we better wait until the water goes down.
With good reason. The current is rushing beneath the ice, making a slippery, dangerous mess.
About right here is the 18-foot mark on the gauge right now.
Town worker Joe Kinchin was just trying to check the water level.
Today it's stabilized, I guess, if you want to call it stable. I just fell through, so it's not that stable. So.
Officials brought in a swamp boat today for a closer look at the damage.
They are expecting a significant snowstorm this weekend. It is the last thing anyone here needs.
The impact on that on the river could cause additional ice to develop on the river and to cause the ice jam to continue to develop.
There is little anyone here can do.
They've attempted in the past to blow the river, and it just does absolutely no good except make a big bang.
With no warmer weather forecast, it could be weeks, even months, before anyone here can go home. Barbara Pinto, ABC News, Robinson Township, Michigan.
Some winter in western Michigan. When we come back this evening, outsourcing maintenance for U.S. aircraft, it's increasingly the norm. In other news tonight, is SpongeBob really being used to promote homosexuality? And our person of the week. An inauguration wouldn't be the same without it.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Bush's Baked Beans.
Hi, I'm Jay Bush. I may know baked beans, but when we wanted to make Bush's new home-style chili, we went to the family chili expert, my cousin Drew.
He slow cooks it with premium ground beef, diced red ripe tomatoes, and special seasoning. It's quality you can see and taste.
Finally done?
Yeah.
That's one jar down. 1 million to go.
I'm gonna need a bigger pot.
Try Bush's new home-style chili. Looks like homemade, tastes like homemade.
Look at this. That woman is everywhere. I think they call that multitasking. And what do you call that? Trouble.
It's Windex Multitask. Specially formulated for a multitude of tasks, Windex Multitask cuts through tough grease and grime for a streak-free shine on almost any surface.
Looks like Windex Multitask goes everywhere. So let's get out of here. I can multitask. You can't even talk and fly at the same time.
Windex Multitask goes everywhere you want to shine.
S.C. Johnson, a family company.
Women. They want to feel their power. They want to flex their muscles. They want to be strong and sweet forever. And they want to enjoy their calcium. One delicious Viactive Soft Calcium Chew twice a day has the same bone-building calcium as those big, chalky pills. Viactive Soft Calcium Chews. Because women should get exactly what they want.
Marie Callender was like a lot of grandmas, and nobody has ever indulged us like Grandma. A cookie before dinner, the extra scoop, even a fort in the living room was just fine. And Marie Callender's also believes in a little indulgence, so we never cut corners. Like our chicken pot pie. It has a flaky crust made from scratch that's filled with tender chicken and crisp vegetables. Marie Callender's chicken pot pies. Sit down, eat, enjoy.
As you may have heard this week, 4 of the nation's airlines say that they lost billions of dollars in the final quarter last year. All of the carriers, including the profitable ones, are looking to cut costs where they can. And like so many other U.S. businesses, they are outsourcing to other countries some of the essentials that used to be done here. In the case of the airlines, that also includes maintenance. Here's ABC's Lisa Stark.
This JetBlue plane is getting an overhaul in El Salvador. JetBlue planes get their major service here and in Canada. The airline insists the work, which it closely supervises, has been top rate.
People should have no concerns whatsoever about outsourcing maintenance. Again, the industry has done it for many years. Look at the track record of the industry. I think it speaks for itself.
An increasing number of airlines are turning to outside repair shops. In 2003, major carriers outsourced 51% of their maintenance expenses. That compares to just 37% in 1996. The practice varies widely. JetBlue, America West, Southwest, United outsource all heavy maintenance, while American Airlines does all its own major maintenance.
As airlines turn to outside contractors, often as a way to save money, the question is how good is the quality of work and how thorough the oversight?
Yes, we need to be concerned about that, and it's the airline's responsibility to make sure that the person who's working on their airplane is trained in the job that they're doing.
The Inspector General of the Department of Transportation has criticized the Federal Aviation Administration for not paying enough attention to outside repair shops. Poor FAA oversight of outside maintenance work was one of the factors blamed for a commuter crash in Charlotte in 2003.
We, in fact, have new rules that are in place that really have substantially tightened up what we require from repair stations, both domestic and foreign.
Outsourcing is expected to grow, all the more critical that the airlines and the government keep a close watch. Lisa Stark, ABC News, Washington.
Other news today, a mystery in California. In fact, mystery along some of the beaches in Southern California specifically. Why are the giant squid washing ashore? About 1,500 of them so far. They are thousands of miles from their home waters in South America. Beachgoers have been told not to touch them because of possible bacteria contamination. When we come back this evening, the cartoon characters and the culture wars. SpongeBob and Barney and homosexuality.
This is an amazing age.
This is an amazing age.
We learn something new every day.
You're living in the age of Fosamax, when it's actually possible to help reverse bone loss and strengthen bone. Fosamax Once Weekly is a hormone-free tablet for postmenopausal women at risk for or with osteoporosis. Fosamax is clinically proven to help reverse bone loss. Increases in bone mass were seen as early as 3 months. You should not use Fosamax if you have certain disorders of the esophagus, are unable to stand or sit upright for 30 minutes, have severe kidney disease, or low blood calcium. Before use, talk to your doctor if you have stomach or digestive problems. Stop taking Fosamax and call your doctor right away if you develop new or worsening heartburn, difficult or painful swallowing, or chest pain, because these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems.
1 pill a week can help reverse bone loss.
Ask your doctor if Fosamax is right for you. This is the age of Fosamax.
This is an amazing age.
Helping reverse bone loss.
Doing your own taxes. Only the most brilliant financial minds had the confidence to attempt it until TurboTax. Now the math impaired can do it. The disorganized, the overworked, the worrywarts, even the procrastinators.
TurboTax gives millions of Americans the confidence to do their own taxes. It's easy, and its calculations are guaranteed accurate. TurboTax. Taxes made easy, taxes done right.
Ready to make the move to Levitra for a strong, lasting experience? Ask your doctor if Levitra's right for you. Levitra is what many men with ED count on to improve their erectile quality. Strong and lasting when he wants it. It's what Levitra's all about.
Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains or alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. In the rare case an erection lasts for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical attention.
Strong, lasting. Experience Levitra for yourself. If you're on another ED treatment, maybe it's time to try Levitra. Ask your doctor about a free sample.
If you have a cold and high blood pressure, you should know that decongestants in these medicines can raise your blood pressure. So why take them? Take decongestant-free Coricidin HBP, powerful relief that won't raise your blood pressure.
Only one network news anchor was there, in the room, as Saddam Hussein faced justice. Peter Jennings. Now, as history's made again, and Iraqis finally get to vote, Peter Jennings returns to Iraq on assignment on World News Tonight next week.
The man who led the government's crackdown on indecent radio and television broadcast is leaving his job. Michael Powell, who is the son of the Secretary of State Colin Powell, spent 4 years as chairman of the Federal Communications Commission. He also led the FCC in easing rules restricting the size of large media companies. Well, there's hardly a day that goes by in America without some aspect of what we increasingly call the culture wars, some of it wrenchingly serious and some of it puzzling. Today we learned that 2 Christian organizations, one of which at least gets regular publicity, have launched a campaign against a child's video. It's about a cartoon program that will appear on public television, and the tape is being sent to about 60,000 schools. ABC's Dan Harris tonight on what it is that is so upsetting.
On the surface, you'd be hard-pressed to find anything less offensive. The video features dozens of cartoon characters, including SpongeBob SquarePants, Bob the Builder, Big Bird, and Barney, all of them preaching tolerance.
The message that it sends is that it's about unity. That's the only message that it's ever been about.
2 very media-conscious Christian conservative groups are calling this a cunning attempt to promote the acceptance of homosexuality. It's not so much SpongeBob SquarePants, even though he is occasionally affectionate with his sidekick Patrick. They don't have a problem with the video itself either. Focus on the Family and the American Family Association say what they don't like is this website from the group that produced the video. It features a tolerance pledge that includes people with different sexual identities.
It's not the video itself, but it's the message, the worldview of the pro-homosexual stance.
Stephen Bennett points out that the site not only has the pledge, but it also has a recommended reading list that includes Heather Has 2 Mommies. He does admit, though, that these references to sexuality are only a small part of the site.
It's almost adding like a little strychnine into the water. It's enough to kill you.
Even though yesterday...
Michael Medved, the conservative radio host, says the two Christian groups are trying to cross a bridge too far.
I think it would probably be useful if my fellow religious conservatives would place a moratorium on any attacks on cartoon characters. It kind of makes us look silly.
It's reminiscent, he says, of preachers attaching the gay label to the Teletubby Tinky Winky and Sesame Street's Bert and Ernie. Stephen Bennett says his job is to give parents all the facts. As for the leaders of the other group, they refuse to discuss the video anymore. Dan Harris, ABC News, New York.
One item about sports this evening. The Houston Astros have agreed to pay Roger Clemens $18 million this year. That'll make Clemens the highest paid pitcher in baseball history. Clemens has won 328 games in 21 years. When we come back this evening, half a century of celebrating presidents, our person of the week.
At philipmorrisusa.com, you can see some of the things we're doing to help keep cigarettes away from kids. We continue to be the major sponsor of the We Card program, helping train retail clerks to check IDs. To date, over 900,000 of the We Card training and resource kits have been distributed to stores nationwide. We work with retailers across the country to encourage them to keep cigarettes out of kids' reach, including putting them behind the counter. And we've distributed millions of brochures with advice from experts to help parents talk to their kids about not smoking, including tips on starting the conversation and helping kids handle peer pressure. You can find downloadable versions at our online Parent Resource Center. For more information, call us or visit philipmorrisusa.com.
Next time a cold wears you down, pick up Alka-Seltzer Plus. With a burst of effervescence, Alka-Seltzer Plus is instantly ready to break up your worst cold symptoms fast. So you're not just relieved, you feel revived. Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold.
My doctor said I needed fiber, but Metamucil is thick and gritty. My doctor said I should take Benefiber. Benefiber has just as much fiber and never gets thick or gritty. Ask your doctor about Benefiber. For me, the choice is clear.
Share the love. Pass the Splenda. Spread the sweetness.
Splenda's the no-calorie sweetener made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar. Almost anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda. You can even cook and bake with it. So don't be surprised when a neighbor pops by to borrow a cup of Splenda.
I know what you're thinking. I'm so thinking you're thinking Beneful. And there's wholesome grains, real beef, even carrots and peas. Love it so much you only think you're getting spoiled. So happy.
Healthful, flavorful, Beneful. Beneful brand by Purina.
Fishing is my passion since I was his age. My multivitamin, Centrum Silver.
Centrum Silver has a group of essential nutrients that emerging science suggests may help reduce the risk of heart disease. Put your heart into what you love with age-adjusted Centrum Silver.
Desperate Housewives won 2 Golden Globes. This Sunday, you'll know why.
If I slept with another man, would that hurt you?
When the big secret's revealed.
How much did you hear?
Everything.
An all-new Desperate Housewives, Sunday 9, 8 Central, only on ABC.
Finally this evening, our person of the week. At the inauguration yesterday, we were all so focused on President Bush's speech and what his fortunes may be in the rest of the world, and yes, the high rollers and the anti-war demonstrators, that we may have missed a little of the individual pleasure that many people derive from these great national celebrations. And so tonight we acknowledge a craftsman. His specialty is Americana.
They lined the streets and they hoop and holler. And I think it's a great thing, not only for the parade and the floats, but the people that ride them as well as the people that watch them.
That is Earl Hargrove. Mr. Hargrove is 76. He was driving the Texas float yesterday. More importantly, he created the float. He created most of the floats yesterday. He's been doing it since 1949.
Most of the parades, and Lord knows I've done hundreds of them throughout my lifetime, that people kind of really look forward to what's going to be the float. What is the next float? Who's going to be on it? What is its theme? What is its name? And I think this is very exciting for people that are really involved in celebrations.
It's a lot of work, these floats. Mr. Hargrove and his team were busy this week at the huge company warehouse in Lanham, Maryland.
Don't forget you got 52 aside.
Yep.
Not 48. I want some glitter in here.
Mr. Hargrove loves glitter. It's his stock in trade. He does all the inaugural balls as well. The bunting and the banners, the flags. He's done pretty well by Americana.
We've been called throughout the years the president's prop man. I don't want the president calling me up and raising heck because the flag don't look right.
So how does one get into the float business? Well, Mr. Hargrove worked with his father creating store window displays. Those were the days when Main Street America was where we lived and mall was a word for a gangster's girlfriend. But then came television advertising. That was a squeeze. Mr. Hargrove Sr. was quite relieved when he heard that the White House wanted someone with his talents to work on President Truman's inaugural parade.
I often heard my dad say the only reason we got the Truman inaugural is because nobody was crazy enough to do it.
It falls to the Missouri float to head the parade.
The Hargroves brought in mules from Missouri to pull the float from the president's home state. It went pretty well until the mules got spooked by the crowd and went down a side street.
I was sweating, yeah, and it was a very cold day.
Greatest of them all, however, is the impressive inaugural parades held every 4 years.
For President Eisenhower, who practiced his golf in the Oval Office, the float had a man chipping golf balls off the side.
This guy shot one, and the president puts his hands up and catches it.
For President Kennedy, a replica of PT-109, the boat on which he served in World War II. For President Bush Sr., a model of the plane he was shot down in during World War II. Mr. Hargrove begins by sketching a float on paper. He takes his cues from the White House. Presidents can be very particular. Did one party get better treatment than the other?
No, we play both sides of that street.
He has not given much thought to retiring.
Where's the other half of it, huh?
As for the political divisions in the country today, Mr. Hargrove is realistic. He has seen it all before. And he is pretty confident about one thing. Americans really do love a parade. And as long as those floats are rolling, how could there not be a good feeling in the air?
If you sit back and look at all of that, that's a lot of history. That's a lot of things that are very meaningful to the American people. What we're doing is for every American in this country. It's not just for the President of the United States.
And so we choose Earl Hargrove. He says this time the inaugural committee told him things would be different because of the country at war. As those of you who saw it on television or in person, it was a good parade. This broadcast will originate in Iraq next week. We'll get around the country as best we can in the final week before the Iraqi elections. It's a very big event for Iraq, of course, and for the United States. So I hope you'll join us Monday night from Baghdad. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good weekend and good night.
Tonight, as Michael Jackson's trial approaches, LaToya Jackson's stunning revelations from inside the Jackson household.
I look at it now and go, you idiot.
And why Michael will never stop seeing children. Don't miss this 2020 exclusive tonight.
Wouldn't it be awful to see these images pop up on the internet?
Next time on The Practice.
Saturday at 11:35.
Hands at 10 and 2. We're showing great progress.
Whatever you're doing, it can wait.
Really good work.
Drop everything and do the math. Add up what you're spending and compare it to unlimited SBC local and long distance, high-speed internet, singular wireless, and digital satellite TV. Get SBC Yahoo DSL for just $19.95 a month, and you could start saving today.
If you can't remember which full-size truck has the best-in-class interior space, best-in-class standard V8 power, and the the best-in-class 4x4 towing capacity. Remember the Titan. And don't forget $2,000 cash back or 1% financing at your Nissan dealer now. The full-size Nissan